Chris Cottrell, glad to be back with you here as we move from consolation games, head to third place games earlier here from Bridgeport High School. Final day of the Western Trails Conference Tournament. Now we get set for the girls and boys championship matchups at Bridgeport. 4 games for you today on KNEB.TV, Allo Channel 15, and Mobius Channel 1500. We're going to have a real nice crowd on hand for the back end of our quadruple header. Our 2 title games up next. The girls' championship matchup between Bridgeport and Gordon-Rushville. Bridgeport had a bye on Thursday night, and they wound their way into this title game by crushing Mitchell yesterday, 70-32. Gordon-Rushville knocked off Hemingford by 31 on Thursday, and then last night a 3-point winner over the Morrill Lady Lions to set up our championship game. And again, we're going to be close to right on time for these start times, so a tip of the cap for the way things have been run here today at Bridgeport High. Of course, the 1-year venue change from WNCC to Bridgeport High School as they try to accommodate as many fans as possible while still following the NSAA guidelines for fan attendance. Bridgeport under the direction of second-year head coach Dave Coolin right now at 17-3. Longtime Gordon-Rushville coach Randy Hurlburt has the Lady Stangs at 13-6 on the season. We'll get you a check of the starting lineups here in just a moment when we come back. Quickly, coverage of the Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament brought to you by Emerald Court, Scottsbluff Body and Paint, Prima, Castle and Cook Mortgage, and Panhandle Auto Group. We'll get you the starting lineups when we come back right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by WNCC, Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, Shelter Insurance Travis Hawk, Ally Property Management, and by E&H CPAs. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Sean Harvey Farm Bureau, Platte Valley Companies, Johnson CASHWAY, Main Street Appliance, and by Panhandle Auto Group.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gering, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gering at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Leeds Heads.
After this, we're back with you on KNEB.TV, Allo Channel 15, and Mobius Channel 1500. Time for Game 3 of 4 for Western Trails Conference Tournament coverage today from Bridgeport High School. Mitchell beat Morrill 50-35 in the girls' third place game. Gordon-Rushville all over Baird 59-40 in the boys' consolation third place game. And now we get set for our 2 championship games. Top seed Bridgeport and head coach Dave Coolin 17-3. Gordon-Rushville comes in after a minor upset here at Bridgeport last night, knocking off Morrill. The record for Gordon-Rushville right now at 13-6. They were a 3-point winner last night. We get set for the introduction of starting lineups. First for Gordon-Rushville. Again, 13 and 6. Jayla Bremer, a 14.5-point scorer, a 5'9" senior. A.J. McKimmey averages 9 points and 6 rebounds. She's a 6-foot sophomore. Also, Shelby Hurlbert, a 5'5" senior, 3 points, 2.5 rebounds. Bree Lovell, a 5'7" senior, 4 points, 2 boards a game. And Key Lovell, a 5'7" senior, at 4 points and 3 rebounds per game. That's your starting 5 for Gordon-Rushville and Randy Hurlbert, their longtime head coach. Now, we get a chance to check things out with this Bridgeport team, 17 and 3. Made a district final last year, got beat one step before the state tournament by Grand Island Central Catholic. Let's meet the starters for the Bridgeport Lady Bulldogs. Dave Coolin, the head coach. Olivia Loomis-Girdle, a 5'10" freshman. She averages 17.5 points per game. Brooklyn Mormon, another freshman in the starting lineup. She averages 7 points a game. 5'4" senior Sydney 9 averages 9 points per game. Sophomore Mackenzie Likas, 6 points, 4 rebounds per contest. And then, of course, rounding out the starting lineup is 6'2" sophomore Ruthie Loomis-Girdle, who averages 20 points per game. We get ready to go here for the WTC crown on the girls' side. Loomis-Girdle, 9, Loomis-Girdle, Likas, and Mormon for Bridgeport, Bremer, McKimmey, Hurlbert, Lovell, and Lovell. 8 minutes on the clock. We are just about ready to get rolling here for the girls' championship game for the Western Trails Conference Tournament. Balls in the air. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle controls the opening tip. Olivia Loomis-Girdle now on the dribble drive. It's Brooklyn Mormon. A quick scoop layup. And Bridgeport takes the early 2-0 lead. 2 freshmen and a sophomore in the starting 5 here for Bridgeport. They won last night by 42 over Mitchell. Catching along the baseline, trying to feed the middle, and we get a near turnover. Ball picked off, but Ruthie Loomis-Girdle standing along the baseline. Jayla Bremer leads Gordon-Rushville in scoring this year at 14.5 points per game. Bree Lovell in the corner. She'll dribble out of traffic. Bremer has it near the foul line, and she walked with a basketball, an early turnover committed by Gordon-Rushville. Going to have to avoid turnovers, and they're going to have to stay in this game early on to build some confidence. It's Olivia Loomis-Girdle, a little jump stop to a layup, and the 17.5 point per game score as a freshman, Olivia Loomis-Girdle, and it is 4-0, and a walk in the open floor. Traveling with the basketball was A.J. McKimmey, the 6-foot sophomore. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers committed by Gordon-Rushville. A 4-0 lead. Olivia Loomis-Girdle brings it to the right side, spins into the paint with the left. It won't go. Offensive rebound. Loomis-Girdle for 2. Olivia Loomis-Girdle has 4, and it is 6-0. Some full court pressure on the catch is Key Lovell. Bounce pass, 3 possessions, 3 turnovers. Mackenzie Likas into the front court. They dump it down low. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. It is 8-0 early, and we might get a quick timeout. Luckily, that timeout came, or we might have had another turnover. A full timeout. We'll have a break in the action. Barely a minute and a half into this ball game. Bridgeport leading 8-0 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by State Farm Joe Mejia, Farmers State Bank, Panhandle Co-op, Dave's Pharmacy, and by Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
It's Gordon-Rushville basketball, and they are reeling here early in this first quarter. Bridgeport leading 8-0 on their home floor, and a steal. Another turnover on the run out the other direction. Sydney 9 lays it in, the senior, the lone senior in the starting lineup, and 4 possessions, 4 turnovers for Gordon-Rushville. It is 10-0 Bridgeport here in the early going. Offensive rebound taken by Reagan Schultz, who's a quick sub off the bench. Bremer gives it up. Far side wing with it is Schultz. Missed shot. Rebound grabbed by Olivia Loomis-Girdle. Outlet pass to Brooklyn Mormon, and that'll be a Bridgeport turnover as they tried to squeeze a pass into Mackenzie Likas. 10-0 the early start here for Bridgeport. Full court pressure. Little 2-2-1 in the full court. Jayla Bremer inbounds to Haley Johnson. Back to Bremer. She'll bring it across the timeline. Bremer picks up her dribble. Left side finds Schultz. They dump it down low. McKimmey had her shot blocked by Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. Gordon-Rushville saves it inbounds. It goes right to Sydney 9. Up top with it. Now right side. And unleashing a 3-ball. It won't drop for Mackenzie Likas. A steal. Another turnover. They dump it down low. Brooklyn Mormon. Now Olivia Loomis-Girdle. They'll get it to the high post area, and they throw it away. Second turnover committed by Bridgeport. Jayla Bremer gave it up. Could have been an easy look that time for Shelby Hurlburt, but she couldn't handle the pass, and then throwing it away here on the near sideline. 5 turnovers early committed by Gordon-Rushville. Bulldogs up 10. Bridgeport 17-3. Visited with head coach Dave Coulomb when we walked in the gym early this afternoon. He said, yes, they are starting to really crank things into high gear as you get down to the home stretch with postseason play approaching. 9 gives it to Loomis-Girdle. Olivia Loomis-Girdle with the left on the drive gets fouled. And she'll head to the free throw line where she's a 69% free throw shooter on the season entering the weekend.
Bremer's first foul, first team foul.
Foul on Bremer. Olivia Loomis-Girdle off the mark on the first, gets the second. She's got 5 early points. It's 11-0. Bridgeport stays with the full court pressure. Bremer throws it up ahead. On the catch, it's Haley Johnson. I think Coach Coulomb wanted a carry called against Johnson. She goes strong to the basket, gets fouled. And Haley Johnson, a 5'7" freshman off the bench, will shoot 2 shots at the line. Foul called on Ruthie Loomis-Girdle.
First foul. First team foul.
11-0 Bridgeport with 4:25 to play in the first quarter. And Gordon-Rushville is on the board with the Haley Johnson free throw. Olivia Loomis-Girdle, 17.5 points a game. Older sister Ruthie at 20 points a game. They average nearly 38 for this 17-win squad. Haley Johnson gets both. Their losses have come at Mullen, at Hershey, and home to Ogallala. That pass is intercepted. Olivia Loomis-Girdle throws it away for the second Bridgeport turnover. Johnson, and now we're going to get a whistle and a foul. McKinley Grover grabbed the missed shot, and Ruthie Loomis-Girdle has picked up 2 quick fouls here before we've played halfway into this opening quarter. 2 fouls on Ruthie Loomis-Girdle, the 6'2" sophomore. 3 substitutions coming at the scorers table for Bridgeport as McKinley Grover, another freshman for Gordon-Rushville. So they play plenty of youth. McKimmey a sophomore, Johnson a freshman, Schultz a sophomore, Grover a freshman. Misses the second. Ball comes off. It's loose. Picked up by Mackenzie Likas. on the floor. 9 running the wing right side. We'll get a high screen set by Grace Dean, another freshman on the floor for this young Bridgeport squad. Young but talented. Ellie Klein is a junior off the bench. Sydney 9 has it. And a lob, and that pass is sailing out of bounds. Natalie Keenan-Virgil is the third substitution, and we'll get another timeout, this time taken by Dave Coolin. 30-second stoppage in play, 11-3. Excited to see this Bridgeport squad, and of course I think everybody excited to watch the championship game for the boys. For the Lady Bulldogs. Reagan Schultz, the sophomore, will inbound for Gordon-Rushville, working against the full court pressure. Keenan-Virgil now stepping in front of the pass is Mackenzie Likas, cutting to the bucket. They give it to Grace Dean, and she'll get 2 shots at the line. Dean, a freshman, 3 for 5 at the free throw line so far this year, coming into the weekend. Bridgeport leads by 8. And the shot from Dean is a little bit too strong on the first. Second from Grace Dean, gets 1 of 2. Bridgeport leads it 12-3. Full court pressure. Ball touched last by Keenan-Virgil. It'll stay with Gordon-Rushville. 2-2-1, full court pressure. Bremer throws it. They'll get it across the timeline on the feet ahead to Haley Johnson. Johnson cut off by Grace Dean. Elbow jumper, right side. Too strong on the back of the iron for Jayla Bremer. Ball on the floor. We're going to get a tie-up. Possession arrow gives it to Gordon-Rushville. Scottsbluff girls win a tight one at Sydney. I think I saw Jeff Kelly's tweet, 41-38. Don't have it pulled up in front of me, but it was a tight victory for the Scottsbluff girls. Always a tough place to get a win at Sydney, and they get the job done. Inbounds pass comes to Grover. Grover, ball tipped, now loose on the floor. Keenan-Virgil goes to pick it up. Bridgeport forces the turnover. Attacking the rim, Brooklyn Mormon, ball comes off. Second shot opportunity, it won't go for Ellie Klein. Now we get a whistle and a foul called against Gordon-Rushville. And I think 2 more shots coming at the line for Olivia Loomis-Girdle. 6 turnovers already committed by Gordon-Rushville. The foul goes on Haley Johnson. That's her second, third team foul. Olivia Loomis-Girdle off the mark on the first. She gets the second. Full court pressure. It's a 10-point lead. McKimmey. Now they throw it ahead across the timeline. Pass is stolen away by Klein. 7 turnovers. Olivia Loomis-Girdle converts with the lefty finish at the rim. Olivia Loomis-Girdle now with 8 points in the first quarter. It's 15-3. Jayla Bremer attacks the bucket. Off the square. That'll be an offensive foul called against Jayla Bremer. So that'll be her second. 2 apiece on Bremer and Haley Johnson. And this thing has a chance to get out of hand here with a quickness. I see Rylan Awayo walking into the gym with the Mitchell boys basketball team. He was selected to play in the Nebraska Shrine football game for this summer with the official announcement today. Tony Mokiak, Nick Mogg, Loomis-Girdle. 10 in the quarter. A steal. Bridgeport dominating here early. Mentioned Mokiak, Nick Mogg, Awayo, and Morrill's Isaiah Garou. Now Bridgeport throws it away, trying to feed the Keenan-Virgil underneath the basket. That's their third turnover. Handling on the perimeter is Bree Lovell. Cross-court pass. Now they dump it down low. Contact, and a foul is going to be called against Ellie Klein. And we'll get 2 shots at the line for Key Lovell. She's a 45% shooter on the season. Klein picks up the personal.
Klein's first foul.
That's her first, third team foul. 17-3 our score. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Lovell off the mark. Gordon-Rushville yet to score a basket from the floor. All three of their points have come via free throws. Lovell, 1 of 2. Substitutions. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle checks back in, as does Sydney, 9. The Loomis-Girdle sisters out there. Lycus, 9. And Brooklyn Mormon. Lycus throws it in to Olivia Loomis-Girdle. Here comes Sydney, 9. Brooklyn Mormon. They go from one side of the paint to the other on the pass, and then Mormon loses it out of bounds. Turnover number 4 committed by Bridgeport. They'll stay in that full court pressure. Lob it ahead across the timeline. With it is Bree Lovell. They dump it down low. Left block and able to get the first basket of the game. Scoring is Key Lovell. She's got 3, and it's 17-6. Brooklyn Mormon crossover dribble. Lost it. Had it poked away. 9 throws it to Lycus. Lycus behind the three-point arc. She averages 6 points, 4 rebounds per game. Now Olivia Loomis-Girdle averaging 17.5. Ruthie averages 20 points per game. Outside, Mackenzie Lycus thought about the 3. Now takes it to the basket. She got fouled. Mackenzie Lycus will head to the free throw line. 58% shooter at the stripe this season. Coverage of the Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament brought to you by Viero Wireless, Western Nebraska Regional Airport, Sean Harvey Farm Bureau, and Ideal Linen and Uniform, and BLUFFS Sanitary Supply. First on the way from Lycus, and Bridgeport leads it 18-6. 8 first quarter turnovers committed by Gordon-Rushville, as they are struggling against the full court pressure from Bridgeport. Lycus gets both. 2-2-1 full court pressure. Trying to split the defense down the middle. Nearly a travel. The whistle comes from Jay Ayler, and that is the call. 9 turnovers now in the quarter. A recipe for disaster if you're Gordon-Rushville. Lycus will inbound to Sydney, 9. And a dangerous look that time, trying to lob it into Ruthie Loomis-Girdle, and it's out of bounds. Last touched by A.J. McKimmey. Bridgeport will line up in a stack at the foul line. Now they'll cut towards the basket. The lob pass comes in out high. Olivia Loomis-Girdle puts it on the floor. Can't get the shot to fall, but she's fouled. And 2 more coming at the line for Olivia Loomis-Girdle. The 5'10 freshman has scored 10. Bridgeport's 19. Just under a minute to play in the first quarter. That's already 16 fouls against Gordon-Rushville. Olivia Loomis-Girdle sinks the first. Three for 5 at the line. Bree Lovell comes in, replacing Jayla Bremer. Loomis-Girdle's second, and Olivia has hit 4 of 6 at the foul line. It's 21-6. They lob it ahead, and they throw it out of bounds. Turnover factory right now for Gordon-Rushville. 21-6 our score. Lycus plays it in from the far side to Olivia Loomis-Girdle. 42 seconds to play in the first quarter. Bridgeport's put up a 21 spot. Brooklyn Mormon into the paint. She gets fouled on the drive, and she'll head to the line to shoot 2. 7th team foul called against Gordon-Rushville. That foul goes on Key Lovell.
Second foul.
That'll be her second.
7th team foul.
Mormon is a 59% free throw shooter. Man, youth will be served. Freshman, sophomore, freshman. Freshman already seeing time here tonight. Missing the second is Mormon. 22-6 the score, pressuring the basketball in the backcourt. Trying to deal with it is Reagan Schultz. Ruthie Loomis Girdle playing with two. Really kind of had to give that shot attempt up to McKimmey. It would not go. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. They run two defenders at Lovell on the perimeter. Bree Lovell gets rid of it, cutting to the basket. McKimmey, it will not go. Ruthie Loomis Girdle loses the rebound, and Lovell can't get it. And the final second ticks off the clock. And a very productive opening 8 minutes for the Bridgeport Lady Bulldogs here in the WTC title game. They lead Gordon-Rushville 22-6 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Castle & Cook Mortgage, Emerald Court, Valley Auto Locators, Prima, and by Regional West.
We're back on KDB.TV, Allo Channel 15 and Mobius Channel 1500 as we've got a 22-6 lead right now for Bridgeport, and walking with the basketball is Loomis Girdle, so Bridgeport has turned it over 5 times. Gordon-Rushville, though, they coughed it up 10 times in that first stanza. They'll stay in the full court pressure. Will the Bulldogs, and they're going to force a turnover. Olivia Loomis Girdle darts to the rim with the ball, can't score it. Offensive rebound, Sydney 9. They'll move it around the perimeter. They'll throw it into traffic to 6'2" Ruthie Loomis Girdle. She gets knocked to the deck and fouled, and she'll get a 1-and-1 opportunity. 8 fouls called against Bridgeport, or excuse me, against Gordon-Rushville.
First foul, 8th team foul.
And Ruthie Loomis Girdle, a 67% free throw shooter. Gets the friendly home rim roll. She's got 3. Ruthie misses the second. Ball rolls out of bounds. It'll go to Gordon-Rushville. 23-6 our score. Scottsbluff boys rolling at halftime 31-14 after the Lady Cats won a tight one at Sydney earlier. Jeff Kelly's got the call on Campbell Wire 93-3, forcing it up in traffic. And Key Lovell gets the bucket. She's got both field goals for the Gordon-Rushville Mustangs here. Now Brooklyn Mormon fires a 3. Tried to bank it in, it wouldn't go. Ball loose on the floor, whistle, and we're going to get a push called against Bridgeport. Mormon and 9, who's it going to be? Sydney 9 was there with a little bump that knocked her off her spot. First foul on 9, 4th team foul. 23-8, all Bridgeport here in the girls' championship game. Should have a fun one for the nightcap with Mitchell and Bridgeport in the boys' title game. Haley Johnson nearly walked with it, nearly fell out of bounds with it. Instead, they break the press that time, and they get it up the floor quickly to Key Lovell. She's now up to 7 points. 7 of the 10 for Gordon-Rushville, and the lead for Bridgeport at 23-10. Make it 26-10 as Mormon cans a tray. She's got 6. Second on Bridgeport in scoring right now. Olivia Loomis-Girdle has 12, the freshman. They pressure Johnson in the backcourt. We're going to get a whistle and a timeout taken by Randy Hurlbert, the head coach for Gordon-Rushville. This will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here, 6:39 to play. First half action, 26-10 Bridgeport out in front. Coverage of the Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament brought to you by Firehouse Bar and Grill, AA Feeds, E&H CPAs, Lessard Insurance, and John's Body Shop. Mitchell won the girls' third place game by 15 over Morrill. Gordon-Rushville, a 19-point winner over Baird in the boys' consolation game that finished up prior to this one, and now the Bridgeport girls are off and running up 26-10 here for the championship against Gordon-Rushville. And again, Mitchell and Bridgeport in the boys' title game as the nightcap. Quadruple header for you on KDB.TV. Gordon-Rushville inbounds it to Haley Johnson. Johnson goes to the bucket and gets it for 2.
Haley Johnson for 2.
She's got 4. That was her first field goal. 26-12 our score. Olivia Loomis-Girdle off a screen from Ruthie. And Loomis-Girdle throws it away into the hands of Reagan Schultz. Schultz strong to the basket. Counted in a foul. Chance for a three-point play coming for Gordon-Rushville. They've got plenty of youth on their squad as well. This Haley Johnson's a 5'7 freshman. She's going to be a dandy for Coach Hurlbert. Grace Dean will check in now as Olivia Loomis-Girdle will sit. That foul went to Mackenzie Likas, her first. 6:15 to play here in the half. And Gordon-Rushville is to within 11, 26-15. Grace Dean in traffic, count it, and a foul. As Bridgeport comes back on the other end with a chance at a three-point play. Grace Dean, a freshman. She's 1 for 2 at the line.
Third foul, 19 foul.
That's a big call. Third foul on Key Lovell. And she leads Gordon-Rushville with 7 points. So Lovell sits. Back in is McKinley Grover. And Dean converts on the three-point play opportunity. She has 4. Running the baseline and inbounding to Schultz. Schultz throws it ahead. Hurlbert to Haley Johnson. Down low, and that's Grover.
McKinley Grover.
Good basketball here on the last few trips for Gordon-Rushville as they found their sea legs against the pressure. Making some extra passes and finding some fairly easy conversions down near the basket. Left side, Mormon hit one earlier. Can't knock down the triple left wing. Rebound comes off to Shelby Hurlbert. Lost it momentarily. Now gets rid of it. Ball is stolen away by Mackenzie Likas. Wide open underneath. Grace Dean, the lefty finish.
For 2.
She's got 5, 31-17. Stolen away once again. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle feeds the perimeter. Mackenzie Likas passed up an open 3. Mormon in the corner. It's 9. 9 can't rain one in from deep. Grabs her own miss off the heel of the iron, and here comes Reagan Schultz. Schultz lost it. Ball loose. We're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to Bridgeport. 3 quick turnovers committed by Gordon-Rushville, and the lead back to 14. .504 to play in the first half. Likas will inbound from the far sideline. Pass comes inbounds to Grace Dean. Likas used a high screen from Dean. Pass deflected. Grabbing it is Ellie Klein. Klein sets the screen for Keenan Virgil. Klein on the catch. One dribble to get free, and Ellie Klein banks it in from about 2 or 3 feet out. 33-16. On the catch, Bree Lovell. She'll attack the rim. Klein deflected the pass. It goes right into the hands of Natalie Keenan Virgil. A 2-on-none break the other way. Sydney 9 in transition with the layup. 9 has 4. The lead is 18. Gordon-Rushville got as close as 11. Ball loose on the floor. Bree Lovell scoops it up. On the outside shot, the 3 ball would not drop for Reagan Schultz. The stick back no for McKimmie. A third crack at it. McKinley Grover gets it. Grover's got 5, 35-19. Still a big lead for Bridgeport here on their home floor for this year's WTC tournament. Sydney 9 dribbles inside the arc. High arcing jumper from just outside the right elbow, and Sydney 9 now has 6, and then 9 a steal and a lay-in. 39-19, a 20-point margin. Full court pressure. Oh, check that. Keenan Virgil. That's her first basket. Grover on the other end got fouled. I think that was Dean going to pick up the personal. 6th-team foul called against Bridgeport. It'll go against Ellie Klein. That'll be her second.
Klein's second foul. 6th-team foul.
So at the stripe is Grover, a 33% free throw shooter, and McKinley Grover, another one of these young talented players for Gordon-Rushville, a 5'10 freshman. Lycus and 9 out. Mormon's back on. Loomis, Girdle, Olivia back on. Ruthie on the bench. And Grover gets 1 of 2. 19-point lead, 39-20. Olivia Loomis, Girdle across the timeline. The 5'10 freshman point guard. You don't hear that all that often in high school girls basketball. Grace Dean has it ripped away by Reagan Schultz. Now we're going to get a reach-in foul in the backcourt called against Brooklyn Mormon.
Mormon's first foul.
First foul on
7th
Mormon.
foul.
3:10 to play in the half. 39-20 our score. Reagan Schultz can't convert on the front end of the 1-and-1. Dean the rebound. Here comes Bridgeport. Olivia Loomis Girdle in traffic. Took some contact. A blocking foul. And Loomis Girdle will go to the line. That foul goes against Haley Johnson.
Johnson's third.
And a big whistle. It's the third foul on Haley Johnson. First point of the quarter for Olivia Loomis Girdle comes at the foul line. She's got 13 points as the lead balloons to 20. Second on the way. The freshman missed it. Rebounding is Schultz. Schultz nearly lost it in the backcourt. Bounce pass ahead to Lovell. She'll turn and get it across the timeline. McKimmie, they dump it down low to McKinley Grover, and she's fouled. 2 shots coming for McKinley Grover, who has 5 points in the quarter, 6 for the ball game.
Klein's third foul. 8th team foul.
8th team foul. Third for Bridgeport's Ellie Klein. At the stripe, McKinley Grover. Three for 5 at the line. Keenan Virgil, Dean and Klein to the bench. 9, Ruthie Loomis Girdle and Mackenzie Lycus into the ball game. Off the mark for Grover. Rebounding is Olivia Loomis Girdle. Outlet pass up ahead. They'll get it underneath to Ruthie Loomis Girdle. And the easy finish from point blank range for Ruthie Loomis Girdle. She's now got 5 points in the game. And stepping across the in line and a turnover. 4 in the quarter, 14 for the game. The lead is 21. Olivia Loomis Girdle inbounds it wide open underneath, and Olivia scores it. Loomis Girdle has 15 first half points. Lovell to McKimmie. McKimmie picks up her dribble and then switched her pivot foot. Can't do that. Easy call for Jay Ayler, the turnover. 15 now, committed by Gordon-Rushville, struggling against the 2-2-1 full court press of Bridgeport. 44-21. 2:20 left here in the first half. Olivia to Ruthie. Loomis Girdle sisters can't convert on the connection as Ruthie misses the shot. Ragged in the backcourt right now for Gordon-Rushville. I think Schultz got away with a double dribble. We get a block shot, though, from Ruthie Loomis Girdle. Outlet pass. A second look up the floor. Mormon with the left. No call. And here comes Gordon-Rushville. Under 2 minutes to play. First half action. All the way to the basket. Offensive foul, the call. Just a little out of control right there for Bree Lovell. Just the player control foul, quite frankly. And now we're going to get foul. They just needed to get confirmation on who that foul was against. Bree Lovell, the 5'7" senior, got whistled for the charge. Olivia Loomis Girdle started right, comes left. Lycus, Ruthie posting. They're going to lob it down to the 6'2" sophomore. Too easy.
Loomis Girdle for 2.
Ruthie Loomis Girdle, 5 in the quarter. She's picked up her scoring pace. She's got 7. Bree Lovell kind of slows her dribble down as she approached the three-point line. A near steal by Mormon. Bridgeport leads by 25 points. They'll kick it left side, getting the feet set for a triple. It won't go. Ball loose underneath. McKimmie. Whistle. Jump ball tied up by Lycus. It'll stay with Gordon-Rushville. They throw it middle, trying to get it to Grover in the post. A turnover. Here comes Olivia Loomis Girdle. Can't finish with the left. Ruthie on the putback for 2.
Loomis Girdle for 2.
Under a minute to play in the half. It's Bridgeport leading by 27 points. They'll bounce it. And another turnover. Just trying to settle it down in the half court, and they throw it away before they can even get the offense set. Sydney 9, high arcing triple. That's in. 9 has 7 in the quarter, 9 in the game. The lead is 30 with 26 seconds to play in the first half. Stolen away by Mormon. The layup won't go. 9 there. Another basket. It is all happening way too fast for Gordon-Rushville, and it's way too easy for Bridgeport. They throw it over Grover's head. It's out of bounds. It's a 32-point lead right now for Bridgeport. They've put 53 points on the board here in the first half. Still 10.4 to play. The inbounds pass comes to Olivia Loomis Girdle. 8 on the clock. Girdle lobs it over the head of Ruthie, and that'll be a late first half turnover. Hoisting at the buzzer, Hurlburt, and that comes up well short of the mark. A whirlwind first half if you're Gordon-Rushville. They cut it to 11. You look up. They head to the locker room at halftime. They trail by 32 points. 53-21. Bridgeport up big at halftime on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Trinidad Benham, Runza Restaurants, Dooley Oil, Bayard Tiger Paws, and by Frankie's Bar. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Scottsbluff Body and Paint, Parker, Lessard Insurance, And by Ideal Linen and Uniform and BLUFFS Sanitary Supply.
I've struggled with my weight since I was 13, but weight loss surgery changed my life. I've lost 120 pounds, 80 inches, and gained a whole new outlook on life.
Weight loss surgery may be the answer to your weight and health problems. Regional West offers the support of skilled surgeons and a dedicated bariatric team for your journey to a healthier you. Learn more about weight loss options at Regional West. It's time for a new you.
Hey y'all, Heather here with Platte Valley Vac & Sew. Platte Valley Vac & Sew has been a cornerstone in downtown Scottsbluff since 1977. Our family brings over 100 years combined experience in the vacuum and sewing machine industry. We stand behind all of our products with a warranty you can trust and service you can count on. Whether you decide to shop in-store or online at PlatteValleyVacandSew.com, our quality products and customer care shine through. You can buy online, sign up for classes, see a calendar of classes and events, view our newsletter, and stay up to date. Platte Valley Vac & Sew, downtown Scottsbluff, and online to serve you.
High school basketball coverage tonight on KNEB.TV, Allo Channel 15, and Mobius Channel 1500. It's a runaway here at halftime of the girls' championship game as Bridgeport, playing on their home floor, is dominating Gordon-Rushville. They lead right now 53-21. Let's check some of the scoring leaders for you for both these teams. It's just been Bridgeport with a barrage to this point. The freshman Olivia Loomis-Girdle has 15. Senior Sydney 9 with 11. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle, the 6'2 sophomore tree in the post, she's got 9. Brooklyn Mormon has 6. Grace Dean off the bench with 6. 2 apiece for Ellie Klein, Natalie Keenan-Virgil, and Mackenzie Likas. It's just been pressure and more pressure. After makes, after misses, they have forced a total of 17 Gordon-Rushville turnovers. That is a lot for a half of basketball. Bridgeport unofficially has given it up 6 times. 4 have scored is all for Gordon-Rushville, 7 apiece for McKinley Grover and Key Lovell. Reagan Schultz has 3, and Haley Johnson has scored 4. Jayla Bremer, their leading scorer at 14.5, is scoreless. A.J. McKimmey averages 9 a game, and she's scoreless as well. 53-21 is our score here at halftime. Coverage of the Western Trails Conference basketball tournament is brought to you by Wiedemann Financial, Dooley Oil, Parker, Baird Tiger Paws, and Ally Property Management. Again, girls championship game, our third of 4 today on KNEB.TV. We'll recap our 2 earlier games coming up in just a moment, and we'll get you set and sort of look ahead to our boys championship game, the nightcap as well. Halftime score from Bridgeport High School, WTC championship game for this year's Western Trails Conference tournament. Title on the line, and it's Bridgeport leading Gordon-Rushville 53-21 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference basketball tournament is brought to you by Scottsbluff Body and Paint, Parker. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference basketball tournament is brought to you by Scottsbluff Body and Paint, Parker. Lessard Insurance, and by Ideal Linen and Uniform and BLUFFS Sanitary Supply. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference basketball tournament is brought to you by Papa Murphy's, John's Body Shop, the Western Nebraska Pioneers, and by Greg's Auto Body and Paint.
Finally, goodbye 2020. There was one good thing about 2020. That was the prices. And this is your last chance to get last year's prices at Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming. That's 20% off every window and door, plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Only at Renewal by Anderson. But hurry, because 2020 pricing is only available until February 15th. Book your free estimate today. Call Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming at 307-215-7493.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering. We're back right now on KNEB.TV. Earlier in the girls' third place game, winning that consolation prize for the third place trophy was Mitchell, as they up in Morrill 50-35. They hit 13 of 14 at the free throw line in the fourth quarter to secure the victory. Jaden Kano led Mitchell in scoring with 13. In the loss, Alicia Garou with 16 points for Morrill. As Mitchell finishes the weekend 2-1, Morrill at 1-2. In the boys' third place game, the final was Gordon-Rushville 59-40, a comfortable 19-point win over Baird. Jace Nelson was the leading scorer in the ball game for Gordon-Rushville. He had 18 points. No one in double figures for Baird. Leading the way in scoring was sophomore Garrett Hopkins, who scored 9 points on the night. Halftime of our girls contest, and it is all Bridgeport in the girls WTC title game. They're up 53-21 as they've got double figures at halftime from Olivia Loomis-Girdle with 15 and Sydney 9 with the 11. We'll step away one final time here at the half, and when we come back, we'll get you third quarter action between Bridgeport and Gordon-Rushville in the WTC Girls Championship game. It's all Bridgeport. They're up 53-21 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Firehouse Bar and Grill, AA Feeds, Wiedemann Financial, Mitchell Care Center, and by Viero Wireless.
A.J. McKinney.
First 2 points of the game for McKinney. 9. Right side, Loomis Girdle. Dribbles inside the arc. The lefty puts it up and scores 2 more. Olivia Loomis Girdle has 17. Full court pressure. They get it middle. Hurlburt to McKinney. McKinney, 2 defenders near to Hurlburt. They'll throw it underneath. And finishing that time is Key Lovell. She's got 9.
Key Lovell.
It's a 35-point lead for Bridgeport. Olivia Loomis Girdle into the front court. Little crossover. Lycus thought about the deep triple. They'll lob it underneath. And again, too easy. She's 6'2". She catches over any post defender. And Ruthie Loomis Girdle, really a quiet night. She's got 11. They've really not needed that post presence much this evening. 19th turnover there on Gordon-Rushville. Shelby Hurlburt to the bench. Reagan Schultz is on. The lead is 37. 3 points away from a running clock here for the duration. Olivia Loomis Girdle nearly turns it over, and now it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon-Rushville. I think that was Key Lovell hitting the deck and kicked it away. Touched it last. So that saves a Bridgeport turnover. Should be an outstanding boys championship game tonight with Mitchell and Bridgeport. Olivia Loomis Girdle floats a pass to the right corner. Speaking of floating a pass, underneath it goes to Ruthie on the lob entry. And Loomis Girdle, Ruthie, well, stepped to the line, shooting 67% on the season. She has 11 points in the game. She's 1 for 2 at the foul line. Key and Bree Lovell check out. Foul shot on the way, and Ruthie Loomis Girdle now with 13 points. It's a 39-point lead. The lob ahead. Schultz has it. Schultz, bounce pass. Coming back defensively to get the steal was Olivia Loomis Girdle. Outlet pass to Ruthie, and it's a 41-point lead. And the running clock should be in effect from here on out. Ball is tipped, nearly stolen. 20 turnovers committed by Gordon-Rushville. Loomis Girdle goes up, blocks the shot, and the clock will continue to run. A 41-point lead. The foul goes on Ruthie Loomis Girdle, her third.
Third foul. Second team foul.
Brimmer's first off the mark. Brimmer averages 14.5. She is scoreless so far this evening. Misses a pair of free throws. Loomis Girdle the rebound. Quick pass to the wing. Now the ball deflected by Brimmer. Brimmer chasing everything here as they settle in defensively. Mormon to Olivia Loomis Girdle. Lycus nearly lost it. Now left side, 9. They'll lob it underneath to Ruthie Loomis Girdle, knocked away out of bounds by A.J. McKinney. Three and a half minutes to play in the third. The rest of this second half will move by in a hurry. On the catch, Olivia Loomis Girdle, 2 more as Bridgeport blowing the doors off Gordon-Rushville here tonight. Olivia Loomis Girdle has 19 in the ball game. 43-point lead. Reagan Schultz pushing for Gordon-Rushville. Underneath, and A.J. McKinney's got her second basket.
A.J. McKinney for 2.
Brooklyn Mormon gets the feet set, can't knock down the triple. McKinley Grover throws it away. Wanted Haley Johnson. She kind of took a step up the floor, and Grover's pass was more directly sideways towards the wing, and it sails out of bounds. Two minutes, 35 seconds to play in the third quarter. Likas picks up her dribble. It's Sydney 9. Off the mark, off the iron right side. Rebounding the miss for Gordon-Rushville was Bremer. Bounce pass into the low block area. Grover couldn't handle it, tried to dive after it. Couldn't save it in bounds. Fifth turnover of the quarter, 22nd of the game. Clock continues to run, a running clock from here on out. Sydney 9 kind of lost it. Lost the ball. She was looking to pass it. It kind of rolled to her teammate, cutting to the bucket. Olivia Loomis-Girdle got fouled, and she'll step to the line to shoot two. Where she's 5 of 8, shooting free throws tonight.
Second team foul.
Foul on Schultz, her first second team foul. Olivia Loomis-Girdle has 5 in the quarter. She's up to 20 points on the night. Second shot for Loomis-Girdle. Got both. And even with the big lead, staying with some full court pressure. Yeah, it's just always tricky. You want to respect your opponent, respect the game. And then also at some point you want to get some of your bench players on the floor, but you also have to keep building for the end game here. The postseason not too far off. So it's a tricky balance for head coaches of dominant squads. And a reach-in foul goes against Reagan Schultz. Clock running, under 40 seconds to go. Bridgeport will inbound. That's the second foul on Schultz. You know, Mitchell had those same problems for that 4-year stretch. You can't just play your starters for a quarter and a half or 2 quarters. You got to play basketball. You got to let those top players get minutes together, build the chemistry, play into the second half. And coaches catch a lot of heat for that type stuff, but you've got to be ready for when the chips are down. McKimmey scores 70-29, walking with it near midcourt is Brooklyn Mormon as the buzzer sounds. 3 quarters complete tonight after 3 in the girls' title game. Bridgeport cakewalking their way to a WTC title. They lead 70-29 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Sean Harvey Farm Bureau, Platte Valley Companies, Johnson CASHWAY, Main Street Appliance, and by Panhandle Auto Group.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
Start of the fourth quarter here on KNEB.TV. We do have some substitutes in now for Bridgeport. Ellie Klein, Grace Dean, Natalie Keenan-Virgil. Also into the game is Paige Schmunk and Alexis Hill, a sophomore. So possession arrow after that tie-up gives it to Bridgeport. Running clock throughout here in this fourth quarter, 70-29. Hill will dribble left side. Rolling to the basket is Grace Dean. Her pass intended for Ellie Klein got intercepted. A turnover committed by Bridgeport. That was their 9th of the game. McKimmey bounces it down low. Bremer looking for her first field goal of the game, her first points of the game, in fact. She gets fouled. Jayla Bremer to the foul line. She's a 52% free throw shooter.
Fourth foul, 13th foul.
Klein's fourth. As Bremer's finally on the board. Second on the way, it won't go. Ellie Klein boxing out, grabs the defensive rebound. Pass is tipped. It goes right to Bremer, and she's got her first basket of the ball game. Alexis Hill, that pass is tipped. Dean grabs it near midcourt. Bremer reaches over the top, swipes it away. Ball loose out of bounds. It'll go to Gordon-Rushville. Plenty of substitutions now coming on for Gordon-Rushville. We'll set them for you. Haley Johnson. Saw plenty of her in the first half. Reagan Schultz. Also on the floor is Stella Wagner. Ball loose. Sky Tawson out there. Schultz defending against Alexis Hill. 70-32 with 5:23 to play here in regulation. We await the nightcap for our final of four today on the TV side. Ellie Klein underneath off the square, fouled on the shot. Clock will keep running, and Klein will step to the line to shoot a pair. Klein, a 27% free throw shooter on limited attempts so far this year. Rolls in the first. That's her third point of the night. 71-32. Ellie Klein now with 4. Reagan Schultz. Alexis Hill defending. Now Keenan Virgil works against Tawson. Right side, Haley Johnson. Bounces it to Schultz. Schultz. Bounce pass, low block area, turning middle and getting it to go off the square is McKinley Grover, the 5'10 freshman. Down in the paint area, very aggressive on the court. She's got 9. Has a chance to be a good one for Randy Hurlburt. Boy, the pass from Hill somehow found its target, Natalie Keenan Virgil. And a whistle and a turnover committed by Bridgeport, their 10th of the game. Just like that, under 4 minutes to go here in regulation. Schultz on the catch, right wing. Underneath in the basket for Stella Wagner.
Stella Wagner for 2.
Wagner's first 2 points off the bench. Whistle, jump ball, possession arrow pointing towards Gordon-Rushville. More substitutions on the way in for Gordon-Rushville. We've got Savannah Burnt, Trinity Taylor, and Brenna Haig. 72-36. Ball tipped into the hands of Tawson. She's a 5'8 freshman. Looks to the high post. Ball's tipped away. And Paige Schmunk has it now for the Bulldogs. Keenan Virgil. Grace Dean sets the screen. Rolls to the bucket. Good little action there from some of the reserves as Grace Dean now has 8 points. Under 3 to play in our girls WTC championship game. In traffic, down low. Taylor's shot would not drop. It'll stay with Gordon-Rushville. 74-36. 22-6. This thing was over. Looking back at the end of the first quarter, a block shot from behind by Ellie Klein. Paige Schmunk. Boy, she had a teammate up ahead, but she had her head down on the dribble. Couldn't find her. Missing the shot underneath, offensive rebound. Keenan Virgil, it would not go. Hands everywhere, tapping, batting the ball around. It goes out of bounds. It'll go to Gordon-Rushville. 2 minutes to play in regulation. We've had the running clock for since about 2.5 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Keenan Virgil knocks it away. Outlet pass up ahead to Paige Schmunk. This time she finds Ellie Klein. Boy, she hit the brakes. Defender flew by. She wanted the end one, no call, but she'll take the bucket. And Ellie Klein now has 6 points tonight. 90 seconds to play. And a whistle and a jump ball, and it'll go to Bridgeport on the possession arrow. Boys Championship game, our final of 4 on KNEB.TV. Klein can't get it off the square. Took it away underneath. Klein missed it again. And we'll go under 60 seconds left here in regulation. 76-36. It's Bridgeport looking dominant all tournament long. They played last night and tonight. Hung a big number on the Mitchell Lady Bulldogs or Lady Tigers last night, 70-32. The run out the other direction, the missed shot, and the putback for Paige Schmunk. After Lead has missed the shot. Schmunk's first basket. 30 seconds to go in the game. Bridgeport leads by 42 points. Grace Dean defending against Trinity Taylor. The pass to the foul line. Klein gets a hand in, knocks it away, saves it inbounds. Good hustle play. Keenan Virgil. Keenan Virgil on the dribble with the left hand. Feeds it to Schmunk. Schmunk, a baseline jumper. It wouldn't go. Klein got the stick back. And that looks like that will do it. A 6-point quarter for Klein. Your final here tonight. Bridgeport wins the girls' WTC title in blowout fashion, 80-36, as they dominate here on their home floor against Gordon-Rushville. 80-36 is the final score.
Please remain in the stand because to keep the floor in as good a playing condition as we can, but you are allowed to come to the floor to take pictures.
And it looks like they will
please remain in the stand.
cut the nets down for the title.
We'll be awarding a
Then they'll replace the nets, and we'll start to get to our boys contest for the championship. But again, the final for the girls' WTC title, all Bridgeport. They win it 80-36 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Sean Harvey Farm Bureau, Platte Valley Companies, Johnson CASHWAY, Main Street Appliance, and by Panhandle Auto Group. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by State Farm Joe Mejia, Farmers State Bank, Panhandle Co-op, Dave's Pharmacy, and by Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
New season and new fashion is in at Compliments for you and your home. Check out what's new from Tribal and Charlie B. From light layers for warm days and cool nights to reversibles that are a must-have for the season. Compliments has the style for you. With great looks come great deals. Compliments always has weekly deals to bring more style into your life. Get ahead of the trends and get the new shapes, shades, and colors this season at Compliments for you and your home. 1708 Broadway, downtown Scottsbluff.
Western CPAP Supply has earned an impeccable professional reputation within the Wyoming and Western Nebraska region. Helping you get a good night's sleep is our passion. Our amazing team understands sleep disorders from a personal and professional level. We use CPAPs and BiPAPs too, and sometimes it just helps to work with people who share common ground. Our accredited CPAP supply company is approved by Medicare and Medicaid and is in network with every major insurance company in the region. Western CPAP Supply. We're here to help.
Dave Crew, you've got the medals. Gals, as I call your name and your number, step forward. 0. Olivia.
Chris Cottrell with you as we are through 3 of our 4 with our quadruple header this afternoon and this evening on KNEB.TV as the Bridgeport Lady Bulldogs win it in dominant fashion. The girls' championship here for the Western Trails Conference tourney this year. They blow out Gordon-Rushville 80-36. It was a full-blown running clock within the first couple of minutes of the third quarter. They led 22-6 after one, 53-21 at the end of the second quarter, heading to halftime, and the doors were fully off, 70-29 at the end of 3. A running clock for most of the second half this evening. Let's check the scoring totals for Bridgeport. The freshman Olivia Loomis-Girdle led everyone with 21. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle finished with 15. Sydney 9 had 11. You had Brooklyn Mormon, a freshman, with 8. Also with 8 off the bench, freshman Grace Dean and junior Ellie Klein had 8. 5 points in the game for Mackenzie Likas. Natalie Keenan-Virgil scored 2, and also with 2, it was Paige Schmunk. For Gordon-Rushville, no one in double figures. The leading scorer, 2 with 9, McKinley Grover and Key Lovell. 6 points for A.J. McKimmey. 3 in the game for Jayla Bremer and Reagan Schultz. And finishing with 2 laid off the bench was Stella Wagner.
Get a piece of the net before we start the warm-up, since we're running way ahead of time now. You're allowed to come onto the floor if you'd like to take some team pictures, ladies.
PA announcer making sure folks know what they can and can't do as far as getting on the floor, team pictures. They will cut the net down for the victorious Bridgeport Lady Bulldogs. Again, check of the scoring numbers there. Loomis-Girdle, Olivia, the freshman, led everyone with 21. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle had 15 and 11 in double figures for Bridgeport. That was Sydney 9 as they improved to 18 and 3 on the season. We'll step away and come back with more right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Castle & Cook Mortgage, Emerald Court, Valley Auto Locators, Prima, and by Regional West. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Trinidad Benham, Runza Restaurants, Dooley Oil, Bayard Tiger Paws, and by Frankie's Bar.
Hi, I'm Michelle Perkins of Remax Regency. After branching out, I've returned home to my roots, to the land from which I came and my family has held for 5 generations.
Michelle truly understands what home means and treats you like family as she guides you through the buying and selling process, bringing the latest pricing tools that are not currently being used in this area to sell your home at the highest price in the least amount of time, and to ensure that you do not overpay when buying.
So just give me a call, kick back, Remax, and settle down.
Hey, I've been hanging out here a long time outside of Panhandle Auto Group, and boy, do they have a great selection of vehicles.
And their sales team is great to work with, and you can also get your vehicle serviced and detailed too.
Welcome to Panhandle Auto. This is Sam Serta, General Sales Manager. It's been our pleasure to serve you for the past 2 years. At Panhandle Auto, we have a seat for everybody. Whether you need a vehicle for yourself, a son, or daughter, our team will go above and beyond to satisfy your needs and even your dreams. So again, thank you from Sam Serta, General Sales Manager at Panhandle Auto, for allowing us to earn your business. At Panhandle Auto,
it's time for something different.
We're back tonight on KNEB.TV. Chris Cottrell, glad to have you along. Girls Championship game for the Western Trails Conference Tournament just wrapped up a few minutes ago, and it was all Bridgeport as they dominate and win the title with a blowout victory, 80-36, as they down Gordon-Rushville. So a second place finish for the Lady Stangs from Gordon-Rushville. Bridgeport cutting the nets down on both ends. They'll obviously get some nets put back up because we got a boys championship game to decide things for WTC this year, and it should be a dandy. Mitchell and Bridgeport. Mitchell the 2 seed, Bridgeport on their home floor the 1 seed, and could be a bit of an advantage in this type setting. Normally this championship game would be played for these tournaments at WNCC's Cougar Palace, but as they tried to get the proper amount of fans in here, or at least what the WTC wanted in here, still following NSAA fan protocol guidelines, they moved it here for 1 year only to Bridgeport High School. As the venue change, it really wouldn't have had much of a difference as far as this girls game was concerned. You wouldn't think 80-36 the final score, but maybe for this boys game, playing on their home floor could be a definite boon for the Bridgeport Bulldogs, as you get a couple evenly matched teams. They've played once already, and Bridgeport picked up that win. Let's double check that score here as the Bridgeport girls continue to cut the nets down. Bridgeport's win came at Mitchell 68-65, so they won it on the road against the Tigers earlier. Bridgeport scored 85 points last night in a win against Baird. We'll talk more about that boys game coming up here in a little bit. Was curious if I could get Coach Coolin tracked down, maybe for a few post-game coaches' comments. I think TJ is going to make a beeline for Coach Coolin to see if we can maybe get a few post-game coaches' comments after he gets a picture taken with his squad. Once they get done with the pictures, we'll see if we can get Coach Coolin up here for a few post-game coaches' comments as the Lady Bulldogs from Bridgeport High cruise tonight. They go 2-0 this weekend, had the bye on opening night, beat Mitchell last night 70-32, and they just get almost an entire second half of a running clock, and they win it 80-36 over Gordon-Rushville. Team picture time for the WTC girls tournament champions. Bridgeport down along the baseline under the basket right now. What we'll do is we'll take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we'll have more from Bridgeport High School here on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Castle & Cook Mortgage, Emerald Court, Valley Auto Locators, Prima, and by Regional West. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Trinidad Benham, Runza Restaurants, Dooley Oil, Bayard Tiger Paws, and by Frankie's Bar.
Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge. What is Hydrozen? It's total body relaxation. It's total body recharge. It's floating weightless on water. Floating your aches, pains, stresses, and worries away. Hydrozen is a revolutionary new therapy using Epsom salt saturated water as a way to relax and rejuvenate your body. And it's now available in Scottsbluff. It is for most ages and has many benefits to the mind and body. Visit hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT.
Welcome to the Snow Show, boys and girls. Today we'll be learning about safe snow tips. Yay! Tip number 1. When scooping the sidewalk, always deposit the snow on your lawn and gardens. Not only is it environmentally safe, it keeps our streets and gutters clear. Tip number 2. Where there's ice on the ground, use salt only as a last resort. Use no-salt de-icers, which are less harmful to plants, animals, and your concrete. Be safe around snow and ice. Show is brought to you today by Tri-State.
Chris Cottrell back with you tonight on the Rural Radio Network, KNEB.TV. We've got a quadruple header, 3 down and 1 to go. The Mitchell boys and the Bridgeport boys for the championship coming up here in just a few minutes. A dominant showing for the Bridgeport girls moments ago as they win at 80-36 in the girls championship game over Gordon-Rushville. Pleased to be joined now by Bridgeport girls head coach Dave Coolin. Coach, you guys come out, you put up a huge number in the first quarter, full court pressure, creating a lot of turnovers, a lot of easy baskets, and this was just a piece of cake for you tonight.
Well, I guess it turned out to be a running clock type of game, but we've had plenty of other games where we haven't gotten off to a good start, and therefore it messes with your psyche a little bit, and against teams that are Gordon-Rushville's every bit as good as, so we have to have the right mentality and get off to those good starts, because that hasn't always been a strength of ours, getting off to good starts. Here the last 2 nights, it's been good for us. Yep. And we can carry some momentum, and just got to be able to handle adversity, and we're learning and just keep getting better every single time out. We'll talk a lot about your young talent in a minute, but this Gordon-Rushville team has a lot of youth on their squad. They're going to be around for a few years. Yeah, I was just talking to their AD a little bit ago, because we're scheduled to play them next week, and they're also in our sub-district. And that's not good, I don't think, for either one of us to have an NBA-type best-of-3 series, at the end of the season. That's not what high school sports is all about. So I better not get into what we were talking about specifically, but I do expect here over the next few years that both of us will be C2, and both of us will be seeing each other in WTC and seeing each other in sub-districts every single season. So we're going to get awfully familiar with each other. Olivia Loomis-Girdle, a freshman. I caught myself just saying you don't say 5'10" freshman point guard very often for girls high school basketball. She can do it all. Yeah, I mean, when you are blessed with a pair of sisters, I mean, you couldn't draw up a more perfect pair as far as, the psyche of the two. They're very intelligent. They're very motivated individuals, come from a great family. But then you throw in the fact that one is a dominant inside player and one is just a dominant scorer from the perimeter and can do about anything on the basketball court. And, I mean, you could not draw up a better pair of teammate sisters. They both have a lot to work on, because they both have lofty goals with what they want to do. And I mean, that's a big part of every other girl on the team and the coaching staff is to help them and everybody else just continue to get better and better. Obviously, they have a long ways to go in their high school careers, but for this year only, there's not a lot of time left. How close are you to it, or what do you have to do to get to your ceiling for this year's squad? Well, the last 2 nights we turned the ball over way more than I'm comfortable with. Our stat thing that does ours had us for 24 last night, and I wouldn't be surprised if we were over. I don't know what you had. I wouldn't be surprised if we had over 20 again tonight. I didn't have you with that many, but mine are always pretty rough. Right. So I'm going to guess that when it comes back that it's going to be over 20 again, and I tell the girls, the further along you get in the postseason, the more likely you're going to run into a team that's going to take advantage of that, and that just can't be the case, because turnovers lead to stuff going the other way, and our defense is too good for our offense to screw it up. And so we just got to value the basketball a lot better the rest of the way out. Not only the star power, but you got kids coming off the bench that would start for just about most other clubs you play. Yeah, I can't say enough. 2 in particular, Ellie Klein and Natalie Keenan-Virgil, they both started for us last year. They were starters, and they knew what kind of freshman class that we had coming in, and I haven't had a single complaint from either one of them the entire year. They just show up for practice every single day, and when they get their number called, they go out there and they work really, really hard. They've accepted roles playing a couple of JV quarters every single night to keep them sharp, and they are very instrumental. I mean, we didn't have, from what I saw tonight, we didn't have any drop-off with any lineup that we had out there on the floor. So, and then you throw in another freshman that comes off the bench in Grace Dean, and that's a pretty tough threesome that comes off the bench right there.
Should be a dandy of a boys championship game coming up. You got a high-powered Mitchell offense that can shoot the lights out if they get going. You guys your boys team scored 85 last night. Coach Sturkle doing a great job in year one. This should be fun.
This is going to be really fun. I think this will probably wind up being the game of the day right here. First time we played them, we got off to and got a double-digit lead most of the ball game, and then they came roaring back in the fourth quarter and just about stole it from us. So I would expect a similar type ball game here tonight. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Head coach Dave Coolin for the Bridgeport girls. They roll to the WTC title. Coach, thanks for stopping up. Congratulations on the win. We'll catch up with you down the road.
Thank you very much for your coverage.
You bet. Glad to be here. Our pleasure. Final score in that girls game, 80-36 the final. What we'll do right now is we'll step away for a few minutes. We'll fire up link number 4 for today as we get set to wrap up our quadruple header with our boys title game with Mitchell and Bridgeport back on KNEB.TV in about 10 minutes or so. In just a little bit, we'll be back to wrap it up with game number 4.
Broadcasting from the Wolf Auto Studios, KNEB-FM Scottsbluff-Gering, and worldwide at kneb.com. 94.1 The Brand.